These episodes are intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion advised.
You like me, I can prove to you that you're going to be okay here. Like, I don't know if it sounds weird, but that's just how I felt at that time. So I would try my best to I didn't want, and I also struggled with, people being upset with me. I never wanted people to be upset with me or mad. So I felt like trying to prove. And I played a toll because also with like cousins and stuff that would talk to me and stop talking to me. So I think all that played a major part with people pleasing as well. Because it's just like, you think, just like you said, you think you're alone. You think like you're by yourself. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to get through this. Like, I have to learn. It's challenging, but I have to get through it because, like I said, I feel like I learned something new about myself. I felt good. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get through this, but it's hard. I really would love to like go back to like the DOT system, the VIA system. Like, I really want to, get a job within there, and like you said, work with military individuals, even if it's just with kids and being that transition counselor. I would love that.
Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode. Today, I have a longtime friend, Chakara, on the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Hey, y'all.
Of course.
I wanted to giggle, so I had to do something.
Oh my goodness. Yes, guys. She's a laugher. She's always making jokes. Not joys. Jokes. Oh my goodness. Here we go. We're already messing up at the beginning. It's already started, guys. But first question, if you're 18, graduating from high school, what advice would you give yourself?
This is a good one. I think I would tell myself that other people's opinions of you does not determine your value or your worth. And the reason why I say that is because I struggled a lot with trying to be the nice person, thinking I want everybody to like me. And I felt like if you liked me, if you enjoyed being in my company, you would respect me. You wouldn't do anything harmful to me. You wouldn't hurt my feelings. You wouldn't do anything like that. Because you know how you, like, growing up, your parents would tell you, or other people would tell you, like, treat others the way you want to be treated. So I felt, okay, if I'm nice to you, you would be nice to me. And I quickly learned that it's not like that.
Yeah.
Took me to the age of 31 to learn that it's not like that.
So what would you have done differently if you could go back?
I would definitely treat people. I would still be kind. I would still be myself. But I would allow their actions to really tell me and show me how that person felt about me. Instead of trying to make excuses like, oh, they're just having a bad day, but they still like me. No. That person is showing you over and over that they don't care much about you. And I want to put so much strength in that relationship or those relationships.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Definitely understand that. So tell the people how you got to become a military brat, from the time you were born to who you are now.
Okay. So, I was born November 8th, 1992, big Scorpio. But I was born in Hinesville, Georgia. Both my parents were in the military. My dad got out of the military like right early when I was born. But he then had moved on to work at the federal prison. So my dad was doing that. We were still in Hinesville, Georgia. My mom was still in the military. She was now being stationed overseas. So with their schedules, it was conflicting with, everything. So my parents decided for me to move to Fayetteville, North Carolina. My grandmother, my mom's mom, raised me majority of my younger years. So I hear a lot. I have an old soul because I was around a lot of older individuals, and then my cousins were older than me. So I grew up sometime here. Then fast forward, we moved to California. From California, we moved to Belgium. And I feel like that was like my best time ever. Like, I've learned a lot in Belgium. And then we moved, we were there for 3 years. After there, we had moved back to the States around 2009. I came back to Fayetteville, North Carolina. I was in the 9th grade then. And graduated high school 2011. 2015, after 2011, went to college. I went to Federal State University, received my bachelor's in psychology. From there, I had quite a few jobs. I wanted to explore.
Okay.
I wanted to see what was the best fit for me, especially with my degree. So I was working as a patient register in the ER.
Okay.
I enjoyed that because it was fast. It was like stuff that was always going on. I felt like I was a nurse, like I was helping out. And all I was doing is collecting insurance cards. Like, oh, a patient need a blanket. Okay, I got it. But I enjoyed it. So from there, I had started working at the county jail. I was doing like 12-hour shifts at night. I've always been intrigued with law enforcement. And so that was something me and my dad connected with on like a lot. Still to this day, we'll watch First 48 and we're like trying to figure it out like we're detectives. And I just love fast-paced things like that. It's very intriguing to me. So I was working there for a little bit. From there, I became a teacher. So I know it's like, wow, it's like a big jump.
Yeah.
So I became a teacher for
What made you shift to being a teacher?
You said, when did I was doing, working at the jail for, I can't remember like year-wise, but I know I was there for like 3 years.
But what made you change it? What made you go from that to teaching?
Money. Chasing money. I was like, I'll get paid doing more of this? Okay. And then just kind of backtrack a little bit. I dealt with, and I still currently deal with social anxiety. So I always wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to put myself in situations where, and my therapist helped me with this as well, like, you have to put yourself out there if you want to become better. So I feel like kids are going to always be honest with you. Kids are going to tell you the truth.
It's so true.
Right? They're like, Miss Gales, no, that's not right. So, and it really challenged. And a lot of people would be like, well, you're an adult, but it really was a challenge for me because I'm standing in front of individuals and I have to communicate. I have to teach you. So I was teaching first and second grade for 6 years, going back and forth each school year. From there, I am now currently doing the job that I have now. I am an independent living counselor. So yes, that helped me a lot with my anxiety. I help individuals with disabilities to do modifications in their home so they can live there comfortably. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So backtrack a little bit. When you were sent to live with your grandparents when you were a kid, did that make you feel some type of way, or was it like, did your parents sit you down and be like, hey, like right now you're going to have to go live with your grandparents because of everything that's going on. We think it'd be a better fit for right now. Or was it just like, all right, we're going to send you and then we'll like keep it moving and figure everything else out later?
I felt like because I was with my grandmother at such a young age, I didn't really think too much of it during that time. I really became really attached to my grandmother. But it was like when I was like 6, 7 around that age. And I was just like, I see everybody with their moms, their dads. And I used to call my mom and I'm just like, well, why can't you be here? And why are you not here? Or call my dad. That's when it really hit me like, what's going on? And it took for like my parents both to like, sit me down to, communicate with me like it's hard right now. Or with our jobs, you can't, we can't be all like one family, one close-knit family right now. So that was hard for me. And I think it played a toll with attachment. Like I would really try to hold on to individuals. And I feel like with the military lifestyle, with moving, it was like, no, I want to keep these friends or I want to keep those relationships. But, because of the fact that my parents were leaving and going and coming. So,
yeah. Do you think that's where the kind of like the people pleasing started? Because
I was just like, well, if you stay here with me, you like me, I can prove to you that you're going to be okay here. Like, I don't know if it sounds weird, but that's just how I felt at that time. So I would try my best to I didn't want, and I also struggled with, people being upset with me. I never wanted people to be upset with me or mad. So I felt like trying to prove. And it played a toll because also with like cousins and stuff that would talk to me and stop talking to me. So I think all that played a major part with people pleasing as well.
Yeah. It's kind of like a coping mechanism, it seems like. Yeah. Did you feel like during that time you were like 50 million different people because you're trying to please everybody who's around you?
That's a good way of saying it. I felt like, oh, that's crazy. I never thought of it like that, but that's true. Like, I felt like I had different relationships with everybody. I was a different person with everyone. And when it got to the point where, I was now in college, I'm like, okay, now you have to, who am I? Like, and I struggle with that. Like, I don't know who I am. And I felt like from there, with social anxiety, that's what played a part, because it's just like, I don't know who I am. Like, I can't really be myself. And with the anxiety on top of that, overthinking and trying to people please, it was a lot.
Okay, so tell me about those college years and how you dealt with, like, figuring out who you are.
So during college, my first year, my freshman and sophomore year, I lived off campus because my anxiety was really bad. I had morning classes. Like, I wanted to get in, get out, go home. That's it.
Oh, wow.
I coped with my anxiety by, during that time, I partied. I was drinking a lot. I started smoking, like weed, like a lot. And I felt like, one, I was cool. I felt people liked me. I felt I had something we could bond over something. Now, don't get me wrong. In the beginning, I had 3 best friends. Still to this day, I love them. We will talk all the time. And they really stuck by my side. And then slowly I started to learn that they deal with anxiety as well. And so it's just like, we kind of, that was our niche. That was our thing. We've always like stuck together. And I felt like because of that, I did not have the best experience because I didn't explore more. I didn't, do all that I should have done to really put myself out there, because I was so fearful of how others would perceive me. What they was thinking about me, how I came off. Remember, I was telling you I wanted to be that nice one because I was thinking you're going to like me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that. It wasn't.
That shift and change, when did that start for you? Because, like, you came to Belgium, and as you know, like all of us, we just kind of band together. So did that shift kind of happen when you moved back? And now it's more not just people pleasing, but now I need to figure out where I belong, right?
Yeah.
You're starting high school, you're at this new place. Where do I fit in? So how was that transition, and did that carry over into college as well?
That was hard for me coming from Belgium, because it was like, we played sports. I had a sisterhood. Like, everybody, we were cool. People knew who we were. Like, it was just like I was really comfortable there. And then leaving all my friends and coming to the States, even though some of the individuals that went to the same colleges I did, I've known them like from when we were kids, but now we're like adult, like, teenagers, and we're growing into becoming an adult. Everybody's different now.
Yeah.
So it was hard, and I was coming back like, so when I first got there, everybody was like, oh, that's Chakara, the military girl, or, and I remember my first day in class, one girl, she messed up my name, and she was trying to be funny in front of everyone, and everybody started laughing. And it was like, that's when like I felt that embarrassing moment. It just like was a rush through my body. I've never felt that before. And it was just like, people were like, oh, you were in Belgium? You think you were better than us? And it's like, no, I don't think I was better than, I don't think I'm better than anybody. So what I started doing is stop talking so much. I stopped telling people, like, I allowed other people to express their feelings. I allowed other people to talk about their accomplishments. And I was ashamed to say, oh, I've been there. Like, yeah, Paris, it doesn't look like that over there. It's completely different from what's inside this history book. I stopped saying stuff because I didn't want to come off as the thinking I'm better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And so I had a hard time with that. And then from there, I played sports, but I still feel like I was in this shell. I wasn't myself. And then from there, going into college, it got worse. It got worse. It was just like, I was really starting to clam up. It got so bad, Gina, to the point where I could not go into the mall. Like, I was scared, I didn't know who I was. I didn't want to come off as being a goody two-shoes, or I knew everything, or I had everything. So I really lost who I was as an individual.
Yeah, it sounds like you got boxed into this box that was never meant for you, And how do you make friends when you can't share your experiences with them, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what, with your 3 best friends, did that make it easier to like share with them because you have social anxiety, but you're not really going out? Were you sharing how you felt with them or with your parents in any way?
Mm-hmm. I was sharing with my parents. I was sharing with them as well. And they're guys. So they understood like where I was coming from. They were still dealing with their identity themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I said, we can all kind of relate in some way, but they were always there. Like, and also in college, I want to go back. Well, I joined a sorority.
Okay.
So during that time, I'm like, okay, it's going to be a sisterhood. It's going to be a bond. And they were always there to support me. Mm-hmm. It would be situations or I have to be at meetings or I have to, like now you're in a sorority, your face is really out there now. Mm-hmm. They were always there beside me, like cheering me on, like, you got it. Come on, you got it. Like encouraging me. And that helped me a lot along the way. So.
That's good. So you said sisterhood, but you had guy best friends like in high school. So did you feel like growing up, did you feel like you got along better with guys than you did with girls?
Yes. Still to this day. I probably have 2 or 3 girl like best friends. Everyone else is like associates, like we talk but we don't talk, but it's not, it's just life. But guys, I've always had guy friends. Like I've always been around it. And then I feel like, especially in high school, with playing sports too, so we're always all together. And a lot of the females, that's where more issues had came along where like she's around like, man, like, girl, no. Like, I don't want him. We're just really cool. And then I feel like I got boxed in as the home girl. Like Chakara, she's the cool one. That's the home girl.
Made dating difficult.
Yes. Like, I like you. I don't want to be home girl.
I understand. I completely understand. Yeah, you got to be like, nah, I don't treat you like I treat everybody else.
Right. I'm there for you. I'm not there for them like that.
It's completely different. It's hilarious. It's so funny, but then it's true. But then at the same time, I don't think we realize sometimes when a guy will like us. Because we're just like, oh, well, that's how all my guy friends treat me. So what's so different? What are you talking about? So it's a weird phenomenon. Like, especially looking back, I'd be like, oh, that person liked me. Didn't connect the dots.
Right. Because I'm like me. You have to like literally tell me, Chakara, I like you. Exactly. Other than that, I don't know. You're flirting? Oh, I thought you were just laughing a lot. I didn't know you were flirting with me.
I'm not going to put 2 and 2 together. I don't assume. I just go as it goes. Right. Like, unless you tell me different. Oh, wow. So we're in college, right? So in college, so sisterhood got you out of your social anxiety. Do you feel like after you graduated, were you questioning like, okay, how am I going to continue to go down this path of getting out of my shell? Because now these people, they're not next to me all the time. I've graduated college. Now I got to figure out, what's next, a job, kind of make new friends because everybody's not going to the same place. So how did you continue to push yourself out of the bounds of your social anxiety?
So like with the sisterhood, with my sorority, I felt like, okay, we're a sisterhood. We're going to bond. We're going to connect. And it wasn't what I thought it was. Like I had more friends that I connected with. During that time, it helped me a lot to realize that's when it hit me that people are not going to value you the way you value yourself. I really tried to put myself out there to communicate, but some of them just were like closed off. They didn't want to get to know me. And still to this day, some of them I will write like, oh, happy birthday, how are you, da-da-da, and they will not respond, but watch everything I post. And I find that different, but, so for me, from that point on, I learned to let me pull myself back. And it's nothing against the sorority or the bonds I've created with certain ones, but it was just like, this isn't for me. Let me pull myself back some. I still love what the sorority stands for and everything like that, but trying to force relationships, I'm no longer doing that. And that's when I learned to stop forcing things. From there, I was just like, okay, I really got heavily into therapy. And I was just like, I need to really like get myself out of this. I started journaling a lot. 2022, I had my son, Cairo. And from there, I was just like, I don't want to project this onto him. And the crazy thing is, I used to pray a lot before I had him. I'm like, God, please, like, I want him to be the complete opposite of me with this. I don't want him to struggle with this. And when I tell you now, he's like, hi, going up to people, waving and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay, come back over here. You don't know now.
A little bit too far.
If we go to the park, he's like running up. Yeah, I'm like, come back. Don't go over there. And it's just like, I have to allow him to be himself because I don't want him to feel that. I've had so many dark times where I would just cry and like, God, why am I like this? You know, and every day it's a work in progress. Like, I'm a work in progress. From here, going to Walmart would be a struggle for me. I'm in the parking lot like, okay, you're about to go in the store. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. But I have to remind myself to take my time because of my anxiety. I'm like walking fast. I'm like, okay, I need this. Let me go. I'm looking straight ahead. I don't care what, you know. So I have to remind myself to just walk. Trying to take my time.
I understand.
Yeah.
I learned that as well. Like, I think growing up, new experiences were just so exciting for me. So, like, I didn't really care. But I think the new experience of moving back to the States, like, has me cautious. So, like, even, like, today, like, because I'm still looking for a church. And I talked to my mom yesterday, and she's like, you going to church? And I was like, I might just watch online. You know, like, I've been watching online for so long. Might as well continue. And she's like, you need to get out to go find a church. And I was like, okay, all right. So, like, I got up today, and I was like, all right, we're going to do it. I got up the courage to go.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, I did it. Yeah. And the funny part was, like, when I got there, this old man just comes up to me and he's like, he escorted me into the church. And I was like, oh, this is nice. This is really nice. And I enjoyed it. Like, you know, the preacher was a little dry, but the worship was good. It was good. Yeah. So, like, it's just like, it's the first step that's always, like, so nerve-wracking.
Yes.
It's so nerve-wracking. Like, I went to Wyoming, like, recently, and I was like, I don't know how many people that look like me are in Wyoming. But, so it's a little nerve-wracking. But it was my best friend. Like, she was getting married, and I knew I needed to be there.
Yeah.
And so, but when I got off the plane, I saw one black person. So I was like, oh,
don't
okay.
You kind of get like a little like, okay.
Yeah. They lived there. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, whoa. Yeah. All right. It was just so funny. But then, like, I got to the wedding and they were like, welcome to white people land. I was like, yep, this is it. This is my family right here.
Funny.
Oh, yeah. I love them. Like, we make fun of each other in all stupid ways. And I'm just like, yeah, this is interesting. But it was so much fun. And I'm happy I didn't miss out on it. So, the first step is everything.
It's that push. It's like, okay, let me go.
Exactly. So, and also, like, boundaries. So how did you set boundaries for yourself when you got into these new experiences or got into these new friendships and relationships to help you ease that social anxiety and help you still be yourself, but not doing too much, you know, not giving too much, but giving too much?
Yeah. That's something I'm still working on. And I feel like now I'm like really setting those boundaries. Like, you know, like I said, I'm going off of how other people, their actions. And I feel like a lot of people don't like that. You know, to be honest with you, Gina, this year I've lost some close friends. And it's because of boundaries. Friends were so used to having all this access to me. And then when I really started standing up for myself, it was like, Chakara, you don't have to be so defensive. And it's like, no, this is how you made me feel. I don't like it. So I'm going to back away. And when I backed away from them, it was like, now I'm the worst person in the world, which is fine. But I felt good. I was at peace. I'm okay with my decisions that I made. So setting those boundaries, like I said, I go off your actions. If I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to force myself to do it. I used to do that to please you. No, I don't care. I don't want to go. I'm really telling myself that. And I still treat people with kindness. But like I said, I just really watch how you move. I observe a lot. And I also take time on feeling the energy of how you make me feel. Like after having a conversation with somebody, If I feel drained, okay, yeah, we're not gonna do that again.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like, energy wise, like, is it seems like all those people were taking your energy, and now you're learning who to give your energy to and who not to.
That's true. And I'm really learning that because I started noticing, like, being around certain people, it was always drama. It was always something. And I'm like, what am I really learning or gaining from this person? Nothing. I mean, I know the latest scoop, but what's going on in everybody else's life, but it was draining to me. And then coming home to my son, I felt like I'm frustrated, I'm drained, but he's like, mommy, mommy. And I was taking that out on him by not giving him my full potential, by talking or communicating with him, playing with him. So yeah, just like that boundary of cutting those people off.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Because I feel like that happened to us a lot growing up with our parents and, you know, having to deal with people that they didn't want to deal with the military. So some days they didn't have the capacity or bandwidth to come home and also be with us. So to change that, it's good to see. It's really good to see.
It took time.
Oh yeah. And as he grows, it's going to change. So yeah, a lot of adjustments.
All right, it might just be me and my son. Like slowly, like, ooh, no, I didn't like that. Take him out.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh no, you'll expand. There'll be more. I know it. It's just all about learning. There's bad apples and there's good apples, and there's more good apples than bad. So yeah, definitely.
I just feel like with life, it's just always something. You're like, okay, God, I just got over this one. Another problem?
Yep.
Like, I don't want another one. But it's just like I enjoy it because every time I just seem like I feel like I receive another gold star. Like, yes, I got past that level. Now it's the next level. And it's just like every time, and to be honest with you, Gina, like every time I've gotten closer to God. Like when I tell you my spirituality has been like my main thing now, I used to worry about how other people, you know, what they thought about me or the things that I was doing. God has always been first in my life. And every time I would go through a situation that's just like, God, this is hard. I can't do it. Like a lot of the time, and I feel a lot of the problems in my past that I went through is because I tried to do it on my own. I'm like, God, I got this. And I didn't. And every time he's just like, okay, I go back to God. And it's just like, it's helped me so much, you know?
Yeah. He sits back and like, all right, cool. Let me know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, call me when you need me.
Right. And just watch it. Like, my bitch was going to do that. But let's see.
Oh, she tripped up there.
Right.
Angel,
like,
make sure.
God, I got it. It's like, no,
you know, but cool. Just call me when you're ready.
Right. That's so true.
Yeah, because he will not work on anything that you don't give him. And so, yeah, I've learned that a lot in the last couple of years. And I'm just like, you know what? Just give it all. Like, I can't. I'm done. I'm tired.
Right.
I'm killing myself to do something that's completely out of my control. So,
which I don't even have to deal with.
Exactly.
Like, that's how I am now. Like, issues have occurred. Like I said, this year, Sean taught me a lot. Like, God, I'm not about to give this my energy. You got it.
Yes.
Here you
because, like, an issue will come up, but then you'll get into another issue that has nothing to do with you. And then you end up, like, overbearing yourself with so much.
It's like the cycle continues. It just keeps going.
Yes. Yeah. I've learned how to take a step back from a lot of stuff that I was like trying to give my all to. And I'm a lot happier. Like, you know, if those things do come back in a way that it's meant to, then cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, taking a step back and just kind of doing me and living life, it's been a lot better. A lot better. So, psychology. Are you planning to do anything with that degree?
I am. I know I've been going back and forth, like, to receive my master's. I have a year left.
Okay.
It's just like, So once I receive my master's, it's like with my job now, I'm like, okay, so what's the next step? If I receive my master's, what can I do next? And they're just like, oh, you can become an independent counselor. So I'm just like, okay. But the money will go up a little bit, mind you, a little bit. So it's just like, okay. But I enjoy communicating with people. You know, despite my social anxiety, you know, I enjoy communicating with people. I enjoy like learning, okay, like, you know, where people are, you know, their background or why they, you know, their personality is the way it is. You know, I enjoy that. So I do want to continue with counseling. But I feel like my next step once I accomplish getting my master's would be to receive a federal job. Okay. And I want to work with military individuals.
Okay. You know, it's so funny. I was praying to God the other day and I was like, God, I need somebody who is like a military brat who knows psychology to come on the podcast. And then here you are.
Boom, right here. Look at God.
No, and it's absolutely insane because I was like, I can continue to talk and we continue to share all of our stories, which is amazing. But I know I need to start having like professionals come on because they give us practical steps. Especially because, you know, they've done the schools and they've done all these other things as well. Yeah. And I've also thought about, which I was looking online, to do a class for psychology as well, just to learn more. Because I've always been interested in the mind. Hey guys, we are on air. I know, right? So cool to have this. But I interrupt this podcast to ask you guys to please follow us on all of our social media sites. We have Instagram, YouTube, the podcast on anywhere you get your podcast. And please share and like this episode and comment if this episode has affected you in any way. Because the more you comment, the more you like, the more you share, the more people we reach. And the more people we reach means the more the story of mental health and military brats change. So please go and follow us on all of these websites and please share it with whoever and whomever you believe these stories will help change. Because I know that all of these stories thus far has already helped change my life. So again, I thank you guys for watching. And please like, share, comment, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. My first semester, I had a psychology class. The only problem was the class was boring. So I was bored, which took me out of it. So I switched my whole major to sports management. It was a lot. I got an A in the class. Like, I love psychology, but I was just so bored in the classroom. And for me, my attention is everything. Like, if you can't get it, we're done. So I was done. And I was done. First day, I was like, and I had to go all the way across campus. I was like, oh no. You already did two things. Cross campus and I'm bored. And you're bored? Yeah. No, it's a negative.
It's like big one.
One or the other. Either you get closer to me and you can be boring and that's fine. Or something. Like, be more exciting. So it was, I definitely still love it. And that's why I'm doing this, just to learn about each other. Because I believe we've all gone through the same thing or similar things. We just don't know how to talk about it with each other or with others. So tell me, like, from your experience in psychology and the military brats that you do know, like, how would you counsel them?
Really, it's starting back with their childhood. It's like, explain to me your childhood. And that's why I think it's really good, like, when you started off and saying, you know, what's something that you would tell your younger self? It kind of, gives you those steps to, okay, I can see where we can start picking from right there. Because a lot of times people start telling you things they're going through right now, and you're just like, okay, we can help this. But no, it's like, let's start back. Where did you see, like, this fall or, this shift, So I would definitely start there. And then it's really steps. Like, psychology and learning people's brains, it's really like you're seriously picking that person's brain. You're really like pulling layers back. And a lot of times people build those walls and they don't want to. And that's where it gets hard because they get stubborn. They're just like, well, I don't think we need to talk about it. No, let's talk about that. So yeah, I definitely would tell them, let's start there.
Okay. And like, because for military brats, we're more prone to alcoholism and drugs,
Ooh, yeah.
right? So how would you deal with that? Because you know that it's more prone with us to do that because of, I guess, life changes, the potential of our losing our parents, losing a parent, always moving. How would you deal with that? Because you're a military brat as well. You may not have experienced the same thing. So how would you connect with them on that level? Because this can also be for people who are friends and may not understand what they've been through. But how do you connect so that you are able to be there for that person?
I can definitely connect because, like I stated earlier, like substance abuse was something that I clung to because of I'll say my mental health, that state, my mental state during that time. I didn't want to deal with certain things. I didn't know how to deal with certain things, but I knew this made me feel good in this moment. So I wanted to continue this because it felt good. Not realizing I was not looking my best. I lost a lot of weight. It was hard for me to communicate even more. It really it hurt me in those ways. And so I feel like with starting with that, it's just like, okay, what is it that you're trying to, what are you using this substance for to cover up, to mask? What are you trying to hide? And like I said, I can start there, but I've learned that it only made it worse.
Yeah.
And even if you tell people that, they're like, yeah, but I have control. No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah.
Because that substance will take over your life because of the fact you don't want to deal with those problems that you really have to deal with.
So what would you recommend? If you were counseling me and I was an alcoholic or a drug addict, whichever one, what would you suggest for me to do? Because I'm coming to you. They told me I had to come see a therapist. I feel like I don't need to see a therapist. Therapy's for crazy people, whatever.
Yeah.
How would you start? You said you would start with my childhood, but what would you suggest I do after maybe 5 sessions, or maybe the first?
So substance abuse counseling, I don't have much experience in, but I do know, like I said, we're going to have to figure out, one, we got to pull those layers back, and we're going to figure out what is it that you're trying to mask, like I stated. Then from there, we would definitely have to get you in an AA program, some type of program where they really specialize, where they can key in and help with those things from there. For me, I know what helped me is a lot of times I started journaling. I started writing out those feelings. I started writing down what was really, calling me to do whatever that substance was. So we would definitely start there. We would have to work on it. And I know, especially with alcoholism, you can't just stop. I know we can't stop. But let's try to limit, little things by little, So I think we'll start there. That's why I said substance abuse is not my specialty. I don't, know much about the counseling in that role. I would like to learn more about it. But I know it's going to be a process. And I know that individuals, they're like, oh, I didn't do it today. Yes, you did. We will have to start off by being honest. Let's be honest. You've done this. And so that's a different one. But I do want to learn more about substance abuse.
Yeah, same. Would you do more of group counseling? Because that's, for some reason, that is in my head for military brats, since we're more of a military community centered in that way, and having everybody maybe in the room being military in some type of way, it does help us connect and be able to open up easier. So do you believe that would be a easier way for everybody to start opening up about who they are?
Yes, definitely. And like you said, it gives them that comfort. Also providing that safe space, like, hey, we're all here together. Nobody's judging anyone. We all just experience different walks of life, and then we're just here to kind of pour and dump on each other. But maybe I have a solution that you never thought about. And we're here to share those experiences. So I think group sessions are great. Before, when I was still in college, I was working at a group home. Girl, I forgot about this one. I was working at a group home with underage boys, but they were it was a level 3 facility, and it was the age from 10 to 18. And a lot of the times I had to, do the group sessions, the counseling sessions, and I enjoyed it because a lot of the times they were not, communicating about different things. And so I agree. I feel like I love group sessions. Everyone feels a little more open.
Yeah.
And open to share.
Because I've been wondering about those different aspects of psychology, and would it make a difference for us as military brats if we had a counselor who was also a military brat who could talk to us on that level, right? That connection. And also to know, because I never knew in Belgium that we had a counselor.
Right. I remember it was a lady when I first moved there that was helping me set up my classes, but I didn't go back to visit that lady. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember anything much else about her while we were there. And I feel like being like a transition counselor would be amazing.
Yeah.
Especially for, like you said, military children. And it's just like, especially like living overseas for some time and coming back to the States. And I tell people still to this day, overseas is a completely different world. It's a different lifestyle. And, just helping, individuals, especially like while you're going through that switch of like, preteen to teenager to adult, that hill is a tough hill.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning myself. And in the midst of that, we're moving. What? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's what I want to build out of this, to be able to build counselors who love psychology, were once military brats, and for them to be able to like kind of like BetterHelp, but for just military brats, and they can sign up either if they're preteen or whatever, and they can always be in touch with their counselor, and obviously their parents as well would be a part of that. Like,
I think that's good, Gina.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah, because that transition from high school to college wasn't fun, and I've lost friends because of that transition, because we couldn't cope with the transition, and so it's like, how do we help the next generation not go through what we went through?
Yeah, because it's just like you think. Just like you said, you think you're alone. You think like you're by yourself. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to get through this. Like, I have to learn. It's challenging, but I have to get through it because, like I said, I feel like I learned something new about myself. I felt good. It's like, okay, I'm going to get through this. But it's hard. It's tough. You feel alone. But really, in actuality, you're not. Then you get on social media and everybody's living their best life. It's just like, but really, no.
No, exactly. Worst thing that could happen to us.
Right. I just want it to disappear. I honestly do. And that's why I really appreciate your platform here, because it's like I can be honest. I feel safe. I feel like I'm not being judged, and I can be honest. Like, I was struggling this year. I feel like I'm better now, but everybody still has their days, versus when I get on social media, people act like life is a pot of gold.
Yeah. No, not even near.
Right.
Not even near.
I think it's a pot of sand.
Sinking sand, just stuck. Right. Always at your neck.
Right. I keep digging and I keep getting pulled back down.
Help me. Right. Kevin Hart. You see that black dot in the middle of the water?
Yes, that's me. Come get me.
Help me.
Y'all see me out here.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad it feels like a safe space. That's what I've always wanted to make this, a safe space for us to be able to share and be ourselves and tell our truth and help each other out. Because, we're not meant to go through this life alone.
We're not.
No.
We're not. So, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, tell me when because you're going to get the job, you're going to get your master's, you're going to go and get a federal job to like help kids and military personnel. So tell me how you're going to get there in the next like 5 years, because that's the last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, which you've already told me. So how are you going to get there?
Okay, so I'll be completely honest. I'm not going to start registering for those classes tomorrow then.
It's okay. It's all right. I understand. I probably won't register for the psychology class tomorrow either.
Right. Now I'm going to ask you about it. But I already know.
Gotta save the money, Like, got a lot of things going on.
Like, that's a little fast. We gotta, save the money, get the money. Okay, after I do that.
But it's in progress.
Yes. Well, currently, I'm going to say it now. I am pregnant now.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you, girl. Mm-hmm. So this is my second baby boy. Mm-hmm. And I am due January 19th.
Okay.
So I feel like after that, like, I just want to get through my pregnancy. Like, I want a healthy pregnancy, everything. Mm-hmm. But during the meantime, I am going to be taking, like, certification classes. Mm-hmm. I do plan on doing those things. But in the midst of that, like, I am going to register back to Liberty University. I was going to Liberty University online. Okay. I'm going to register to go back there and continue with my psychology degree. And I'm doing general because I didn't want to just, like, stay in the box with one specific thing. So just continue with my general psychology and just continue to build at my job now. And learn as much as I can with the job that I have now. And then from there, once I get secure that master's, I'm going on usajobs.gov. And I'm praying. I really would love to, like, go back to, like, the DOT system, the VIA system. Like, I really want to, get a job within there. And like you said, work with military individuals, even if it's just with kids and being that transition counselor. I would love that. So that's my plan. I'm praying on it. I'm manifesting it. I'm leaving it all in God's hands. But.
Yeah. You know what else I can see you doing?
What can you see me doing?
Creating a course for those who want to work with military when it comes to psychology. Okay.
I never thought about that. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Because it's definitely needed.
Yes. Oh, we do.
It's definitely
need something. I'm open to it.
Yes.
Because I feel like when you're younger, it's like, okay, what's going to bring me the most money? But I've learned that, like, when you're doing something you're called to do, you enjoy it. It's not a job. It's like a pleasure to do it. The money comes.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have the passion to do something and really put in the work and really focus, it changes everything. It really does change everything. Like, even if, like, at this moment, it's not bringing in the money so that you can be doing it full time, doing that other job, it's like, oh, this is for this reason. Like, this is to make sure that I'm able to do my purpose. So you bring your best to everything.
That's true. And it's a part of your story that you get to continue to tell other people. And they're like, what? It's like, yes, this wasn't overnight. It was a journey.
Exactly. She's going to be on a journey, guys, and she's going to write that course for us so that we can have more counselors out there.
Yes, I am. I really am. Yeah. Like you said, we need it.
We do. We definitely, it's something that's definitely missing, and I feel like it's been missing for a while. Like, kids have PTSD too, but they don't have it at the same time as adults. So it needs to be taught, like, how do you counsel them at the stage they are in?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And then you have individuals in those fields who never lived a military lifestyle. They just read a book. And you're like, oh, I think this is how you feel. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we need more military brats in that. And my best friend, she's also studying psychology and wanting to do counseling and stuff. But she's more of like the overview of mental health and like wanting to create a space for that. But it's awesome to just see, like, everybody kind of slowly getting into their purpose, getting into their calling, and really growing in it. So I'm excited to see where all of us are in 5 years.
Right. Me too.
I'll be 33.
Girl, I don't even want to tell you my age.
I'm gearing up.
37? But I'm going to still look like I'm 23, so you would never know.
Yes.
You would never know.
Yes.
Like, is she 20? Is she 23? No, bro. Yeah.
I went and got like a glass of wine yesterday at a brunch spot, and I thought they were going to card me. Nobody carded me. I was like, oh, do I look that old? Do I no longer
look at this card?
Do I no longer look 16? I mean, I know I have the all army shirt on, but I could be 18 in this shirt. Okay, like you can go in the military at 18 years old. Come on.
The lady tried to get my ma'am. You're going to look at this card.
Yes, yes. I know you're. No, I'm not. Make me feel not my age, like everybody told me my whole life. You're 16? Oh my God, I thought you were 12. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, that would get on my nerves.
It was a constant. It was constant. Every time I turned around, you're 16 or you're 18. I thought you were like 15, 16. Thank you.
Right.
Anybody else have the same thing that I've been told my whole life? I'm short and my skin is tight. I already know this. Like, don't need you to remind me daily. I remind myself when I look in the mirror.
Right. I don't need you to tell me.
No, you can tell me. I'm good. I got it. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's so true. No,
don't try to age me.
No, I'm gonna tell you my age.
Yes. I used to hate it, man. They'd be like, what? I'm like, yes. Yes, okay. Like, oh my God, you look so okay, thank you. Next.
You just cut them off missing. It's all right. Thanks.
Hey, I know. Okay. Oh my goodness. It was, yeah.
People are funny.
They are. Yeah. Good time, though.
This was good, Gina. I like this. I was so excited. Mind you, I was a little nervous. I don't
know why everybody's nervous. It's just a conversation.
I know.
I tell you the first question, and then like everything just goes, and it's amazing every single time.
It is. It's just like I want to say the right thing, and then I'm goofy, so I was like, my mom was like, "Don't get on there with all that giggling."
We did. Sorry, Mom. We love you.
Right.
Sorry, guys. Real quick, shout out to Mr. Mike before he kills us.
We love cocktails.
Shout out. Green Machine. Shout out to Green Machine.
Yes. Wow, Green Machine.
I don't know why we called ourselves that, but that was it. We're the Green Machine. Like, what in the world? I look back and like, what were we thinking?
Right.
We thought that was such an awesome name.
Bad, though.
We were
good.
We were good. We won that tournament, came home.
That was like the best time ever. Like we were traveling, and I just remember like walking into like different gyms and stuff, and like the other teams were like looking at us all mean mugging, and we're just like giggling and laughing, and like we're just having the best time. But when it was time to play, oh yeah. Yeah. We saw the giggling stop.
Yep, sure did. Not gonna lie, I did miss you in high school. Miss you in high school. Basketball would have been different.
We was just like the Kobe and the Shaq. Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah. Would have been so different. Oh man.
I wish I would have stayed. Then it was just like I was so excited to move back to the States. But now I'm just like, I wish I would have stayed.
Yeah. We're gonna close out, guys. Shakara, thank you for being on the podcast. It's been awesome and amazing. We've been talking for over an hour, and if we would continue, it would be about random stuff.
Right.
So we're going to keep that stuff between us, and we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. There are a ton more tea time episodes, as well as stories that are going to be shared on this podcast to come. So please like and subscribe or follow down below. And I will see you all next Military Brat Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I am so excited to continue this journey with all of you.